Hello viewers, welcome back to another episode, and this episode is about licenses for OpenVMS and related DEC products, and this episode will be a bit more a talk episode. So when you think that I'm talking too fast or that I sound a bit nervous, then it will be hard and painful for you to watch this episode. OpenVMS is the name of the operating system I'm using on my VAX systems, and the name Open, when you hear the name Open, you can maybe think that OpenVMS is open source, but that's not right. OpenVMS is proprietary software, and the name Open refers to some kind of open computing like POSIX, etc. When they included the prefix open to VMS, starting with version 6. You can see here with version 6 it's called OpenVMS, and before this is version 5 documentation, it's called only VMS. And you're able to get VMS for different processors. For VAX, the machines I will use VMS, and also for Alpha, for Itanium, and now also for Intel x86-64. And licensing is a big issue for VMS. So DEC licensed nearly everything. So only with a VMS license you can't do much things. You need a bunch of other licenses. DECnet for endpoint and for routing, TCP/IP, which is called UCX, DEC Windows, VAX cluster, volume sharding, the compilers for Pascal, Fortran, C, and so on. Everything needs a special license. At the moment, I have 16 different commercial licenses for my VAX computers. The commercial licenses are sold by DEC, and later, after 1998, by Compaq, and later on by Hewlett-Packard. And there was also a hobbyist program. So until 2020, I think, you were able to get a hobbyist license. You have to be a member of DESOS, Digital Equipment Corporation User Society. Later in Germany it was later Connect. I don't know if it's worldwide later named to Connect. And the hobbyist program ended when Hewlett-Packard split it into two companies, in Hewlett-Packard and in Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. I've got only one hobbyist license for my VAXstation 4000 VLC in 2005. That's the only hobbyist license I've got, and now it's because hobbyist license is only valid for 1 year, I could not use it anymore. And later you were able to get a community license by the company VMS Software Incorporated. But you was not able to get this license for VAX, only for Alpha, Itanium, and the Intel x86-64. Why this was the case, I don't know really the reason. I've read that VMS Software Incorporated does not have the rights on VMS for VAX, and then the rights for VMS for VAX are still at Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, and they have only the right for Alpha, Itanium, and Intel. But I don't know if this is was a real reason why you can't get a community license for VAX. And this year, in 2024, VMS Software Incorporated stopped the community license in its prior form. There's also some kind of OpenVMS ambassador program, but it's a completely different thing. Now you can only get a virtual machine, which you can download, and with this pre-installed license, and the current virtual machine expired on 30th March of 2025. I've downloaded this virtual machine. I've got a copy of it, but at the moment I haven't the time to try it out. Maybe I will make a separate video about this virtual machine, and this virtual machine runs only on Intel x86-64. Therefore, you are not able to get any further licenses as a hobbyist for Alpha or Itanium. Before that time, the hobbyist license or the community license for 2024 was only valid for 1 year. Yes, you have to renew this license every year. I don't know what's really happening in the future. I hope that we will see some kind of community hobbyist license again, maybe also for VAX for Alpha, because there is a community on that systems, and there is a problem when you do not have commercial licenses to get running VMS and to get into VMS as a hobbyist or someone who wants to see these machines and these operating system from educational standpoint. Yeah, there are several questions related to the OpenVMS licensing, and the first question is how you can get a license for VAX or for an Alpha machine. And one possibility is you can buy a commercial license. They are still available. Another thing is you can transfer a commercial license. It's a bit discussed in internet forums, especially in the United States, if it's allowed to transfer this license. I do not have a full copy of the license agreement, but if you have a look at the PAK, on the back here, there's written down here, license shall maintain the software PAK as confidential and not transfer, disclose, or otherwise make it available to any third party. So from the license agreement point of view, it's not allowed to transfer this license. And also the license is bound to a specific processor. So there's a form you have to send, you had to send to digital with the processor ID, and then the license is bound to that. But in the European Union, it's allowed to transfer licenses. It doesn't matter what stands in the license agreement. We call it first sale doctrine in copyright law, and it's also with bundled licenses. So there's also a special decision from the European Courts of Justice. It's called Use Third versus Oracle. So in Europe, it's allowed to transfer licenses, commercial licenses, no matter, you can do it. I cannot speak to other copyright jurisdictions, not to the US copyright law or wherever you live, so you have to check it for your specific country if it's allowed from a legal standpoint to transfer a commercial license. And when you have a commercial license, you get a product authorization key. It's called PAK, and I will show you that PAK later. It's a piece of paper in one of these things, and then you can add this PAK to your computer. If you do not have this folder and you get a machine with installed VMS, you can read out the license database and generate a copy of PAK. The license tool allowed it that with a special command, and then you get the digital copy of the PAK you can transfer to another machine. And the license tool of VMS disables the license on the machine where it first was installed. So if you get used VAX or used Alpha, try to get the license database from that machine when you have purchased the license with the machines, but you did not get these paper license files. Next question is, what is about hobbyist and community license? And as far as I know, at the moment there's no possibility to get a community license or hobbyist license for VAX or for Alpha. Some hobbyists change the date of their systems because they have a community license from prior days, and so they can change the date, and now the system thinks it's another date where the license is valid. Or another solution is to use a script to remove the expiration date from the license. But from a legal standpoint, this is not recommended, because the expiration date is part of the license agreement, and if you look from a copyright standpoint, this is a copyright violation. But it's another matter whether the owner of the rights is interested in this procedure. Maybe HP or VMS not interested in it, I cannot say, but from a legal standpoint, it's not recommended to do that thing. So, how does the license system work? And you need different size of license depending on the system. So the license has units, and you need different big units depending on your system. And there is a table. It's in the application manual in the appendix. You can see it here. This table is called License Unit Requirement Table, and you can see here different units that you need for your machine. And there are different categories of units from A to and here it's E, but it's end with I think with not with I, with H. There's one more, but H is for alpha, and this is a VAX manual. And A to D, these are for VMS, and these are different VMS license types. A and C are for timer sharing machines, B is the license for server, and D is the license for workstations or for VAXstations. I don't really know why you need type C license on some machines. You can see here, all these VAXs only needs a type A license. So no type B, C, and D license, but there are also some micro VAX machines or my VAX 4000, you need A and a C license. I don't know really what the difference between an A and a C license is. So the type A is called have OpenVMS capacity or unlimited or base, and C is called OpenVMS concurrent user. At the moment, I do not have a type A license, but I have type C license because they were in the license database from my VAXserver. I don't know really in what kind of scenario you only need type C license, because there is no entry in all this in this table whereas only type C license is necessary. The type E, this one, is for system integrated products, SIP. This is DECnet or VAX cluster or something like that. And type F and type I are layered products. F is, for example, the compilers, VWS, DEC, etc. Then is G is unused, you can't see G here. And I is also layered products, but I do not have any license in the category I, so I don't know for what you will use this category. Then also is H. H is a layered product for alpha, but I do not have an alpha, so therefore you can't see it here. My VAX 4200 is a time-sharing machine, but I do not have a time-sharing license, as I said, because I do not have type A licenses. And there is a small script by Digital Diggings, I will link that video below, where you can change the CPU ID, and now now VMS thinks it's a server and they can use one of my type B server licenses, but without the possibility of time sharing. So the time sharing possibility is lost by changing the CPU ID. When maybe I will get some type A licenses someday, and then I can change it back to the original CPU ID and use the time sharing possibility. Now I've tried to access time sharing my VAXserver 4300 to see what happens, and what will happen when I will log in with multiple users at the same time. I did a small test with 3 terminals, one real terminal, a VT510, and 2 notebooks, which emulates a terminal, or essentially each notebook emulates a terminal. And interestingly, I can log in with a lot of users on my machine. But it's a server license, not a time-sharing license, you can see here. On the machine I'm logged in with 4 users on the machine DBS1, which is a server, and VXL4 is that particular machine. System 1 system is telnet connection, and the 3 users, Clarkson, Hamster, and May, are on these 3 terminals, and it's perfectly running. I'm running over that here. I have DEC Hub 90 here with DEC repeater 90TS for the Ethernet connection, and 2 DEC servers, the DEC server 90M and the DEC server 90L+. 2 terminals are connected to the DEC server 90L+, and 1 terminal is connected to the DEC server 90M, and I'm perfectly running 3 sessions here. The user May is running show cluster, the monitor cluster instance, and the user Hamster is logged in here in the console, and the user Clarkson is logged in as well in the console, and it's working. So interestingly, I'm able to log in with multiple users and using time sharing on that machine without a proper time sharing license. Okay, I did some more investigation on the behavior on the machine that I can log in with multiple accounts at the same time and to do some time sharing. And in addition to the normal 100-point server license, on that machine there was a second 800-point server license. And this license calls that I can log in with multiple accounts. I've removed that 800-point server license, and here on that machine I'm logged in with the user Clarkson, and when I try to log in with the second user, with the user May, now I get an error message because exceeds active license limits. So you can extend the number of users, parallel users on a machine, also on a server, when you add another server licenses. And when you remove it and only have the minimal number of server licenses which are necessary for that machine, you can only log in with one user. And that's the reason why I was able to use multiple users at the same time in the previous theme. So how does a PAK look like? And basically a PAK is a piece of paper that comes in the folder, a license kit, software license administration from digital, and under here you see digital software. It's a really nice folder, and we open it. There is a document here on the left. It's not the original document, it's a copy. I've recorded this part twice. In the first recording I've used the original documents, but after an hour of editing I decided to record it again with a copy because here are some informations. They are black here in this copy. I cannot show on the video because I use this license. They are valid commercial license, and for obvious reason I cannot show all information of this piece of paper. So I've made a copy and cannot show the original document. You can see here license PAK. PAK means product authorization key, and over here is a little note. It's interesting to know that if you are using a version before VMS 5, so VMS 4 or 3, then you don't have to enter the information of the PAK. The licensing tool is added to VMS with version 5. And there's a little note that mentions that if you are using VMS 5, you have to register this PAK in your VMS instance. And I will show later in the registration process on VMS. On top here are some information. This license is from the 27th of September of 1988. Here are some information, customer name, etc. You can see this. And here, down here is written the customer name, but you can't see this as well. The PAK information is this block here. If you are exporting your PAK with the license tool, to get a copy of your PAK, you will only get this information here, not the top one, not the information from the top one or from the bottom one. And this is also information you have to enter in the tool. So this is a license for the product C, also it's a C compiler. It's made by DEC. This is an authorization number. It starts with ASLEL, and then there is some digits after that. This number you will need also if you want to export your license, but you can show all the license in the license tool with these all the numbers of this license from the license tool. Then this is a number of units, so this is a 10-unit license, and it's a type F license. And down here are some options. This is an important key option. It means mod units, and mod units means that you can temporarily increase the number of units, but I don't know really how long is temporary. I think you can increase the number forever, but it's not covered by the license agreement. But you can increase it if you need more units temporary, and you can purchase the license later. That's the kind of system digital implemented into this license. And down here under this black block is a checksum, and usually you do not see these checksum in your license unit until you have exported the PAK with a special command you can enter. And this checksum, I think this checksum will be calculated from the information over here. So another license I want to show is a VMS license, because VMS license is a bit different. So look here, it's also a copy of my document. This is VAXVMS. It's a 100-unit license, and in this document is also a small piece of paper from the digital customer service that this license was extended to 200 units later, but I cannot show you this piece of paper because there are some personal information written on it and the names of several persons, therefore I can only tell it. And this is a Type D license. So it's a license for VAXstation. Interesting here is another key option, and this key option is very interesting because it means no share. In general, if you have other products without these key options, you can share the units between different computers. So if your computer needs 10 units and you have a 50 unit license, you can use your license on 5 computers with 10 units each. And for the VMS license itself, it's not possible. No share means you cannot share this license to different computers. So you will have to bind the license to a specific computer in the license tool, and then the computer takes the whole license, even when the license is too big for that machine. That we have seen on my VAXstation, on my VAX 4300. There was a license with 800 points, which is far too big for a VAX 4300. Then we'll show you a third license. And this is a license we will activate on my VAXstation later. This is a VAX cluster license. And the VAX cluster license is quite similar to the C license, especially only this is a type E, not a type F license. But you can see another document here on the right. And this is a service update pack. And I think these documents are changed the information of the original license. But the only change I can see here on that document is that the number of units is set to 0, and 0 means unlimited. I don't know really if it's the case, but maybe this is an unlimited VAX cluster license. I really don't know why they changed the number of units here to 0, or if this document does some other changes to the licensing. I don't know, maybe some of the experts of my viewers knew more about these service update packs and the reason why they are there. The authorization number is a bit different. It not starts with ALSIL, it starts with ASIPK. But there is no other difference. What units is equal, E is units, and everything else. So maybe you know more. Then let's install that license here on the left on the VAXstation 4000 VLC for testing purpose. So we are in VMS and we can enter show license to see what licenses are currently installed on that machine. And we can see there is a DECnet endpoint license with 15 units and a VAX VMS license with 800 units. And we want to see what license we need. There's the field show license / charts, and we can see how much units we need. So we need, you can see here, 100 points of VMS type D, type E 50 points, like the DECnet license, which is a type E license, and for type F we need 10, and for type I we need also 10 units. So let's install the VAX cluster license, and we will go into the VMS licensing tool. With as license, this is the command, and he said file not found. Why? It's file not found. Oh, there's a mistake. I thought over there. VMS license. Yeah, now it works. This is the VMS license management utility, and we have several options here, and we want to add a register license, so we enter, and then we will ask if we have a PAK, and we have a PAK. So now the issuer is, now we have to enter the information from the license PAK. The issuer is DEC. Then there is a number. This is the authorization number. I will pixelate some parts of this number. Then the product name is VAX cluster. The producer is also DEC. 50 units. No version, no release date, no key termination date, availability table code is E, activity table code is empty, and the key options are mod. And I have to look where the there. This problem is the keyboard is set to English, and it's a German keyboard, so the characters are sometimes on other places. So I have to look where this character was. So mod units, put a clock is nothing, hardware ID also empty, and checksum is this one, which you can't see as well. Then you will get a summary of things you've entered. Then you can check if everything is correct, and then yes. And then the license is registered, and after that you will ask if you want to load this license on that system. So this activates the license. The first steps on registered is to the license database. This license is lmf$license.ldb, and the second step, which is included, load this license to the machine. And then we get back to the main menu, and if you exit this tool now and enter again show license, you will see there is an active VAX cluster license. Yeah, this is the end of that bit longer video. I hope you find that interesting, and we'll see you in the next episode, and you can leave comments below. I'm also on Twitter now to create some different content in form of pictures. It's what's different to videos on YouTube, and thanks for watching.